vast crowd gathering down in pit lane for a double celebration here as Larry Perkins gets himself onto the last lap of this memorable race. The double celebration I'm referring to is, of course, Larry's potential victory, probable victory, and the farewell to Peter Brock, who's already surrounded by security guards as he gathers to make his appearance on the podium. Certainly not as one of the first three, but simply to say goodbye. Well, there is Richards.
Can just imagine how excited Bronick Karch, Managing Director of Castrol Australia, is at the moment. They're very serious about their V8 racing here in Australia. Russell picked up third in the Australian Touring Car Championship this year. Larry fifth after a few unfortunate rounds. This guy is running hot at the moment and has been all day with his dad. Stephen Richards, he's going to be so delighted with this finish. A really good, solid run. They're not a very big team. They don't have a lot of resources, just a lot of effort, a lot of talent, a lot of determination. Larry over the top of the mountain for the final time. Let's listen to the roar. Just fantastic. They've let off a flare up there as well. Plenty of Larry Perkins fans here at Mount Panorama.
Well, that's an almost stomach-churning shot as you see the big V8 monster fly over that hill at you. And, of course, butterflies in the stomach as well as you hear the roars of that very friendly crowd. They've seen so much drama this weekend. They've seen so many great names and great cars chewed up by the mountain. But Larry Perkins has survived and is still going quicker than anyone else. A 2:15, 4:4.75 doesn't mean too much now. It's simply a matter of distance. And as he heads down the straight, that distance is being swallowed up. Larry Perkins through the chase and shortly onto the home stretch.
This is it. You're riding the Dunlop in-car camera with Larry Perkins. He is bringing it home. The Castrol Commodore under the Dunlop bridge. He is on Dunlop tyres, and hasn't it been a successful combination? Larry Perkins and Russell Ingall, they do it for the second time together. Perkins wins the 1997 Primus 1000 Classic. There he is. Well done, Larry. And Russell Ingall, he's happy. He's over the moon, and so they should be. That's their second win. 1995 was their first one together. They've done it again in 1997. Congratulations to Stephen and Jim Richards, the father and son combination. Jim also, he is very, very happy with Stephen's effort, and so he should be with his own. There he is there. Good on you, Dad. He's done a terrific effort.
And pretty soon we expect Mark Larkham to bring home the Mitre 10 Falcon in third place. But look at Russell Ingall. What a year it's been for him. Up and down in the headlines, of course. Get it to turn in. He locked the wheel last time. Get it to turn in, get a really nice clean exit, and make sure... Actually, Mark's just missed the apex there, so LP got away with one here.
Well, there you go. It's drifted out to about 4 or 5 car lengths. Larry Perkins climbs the mountain. This is the final lap. We are getting shots on our other monitors in the commentary box here. Jason Bright is waiting in the garage very nervously with girlfriend Melanie, an anxious time, and Stephen Richards' fiancée Angela is there. Also, Bargwanna has got to throw everything, as there is the Ericsson Trust Bank entry. Here is our race leader. Let's hear the crowd. This is the final lap. There's got to be some Ford fans on top of the mountain that want to cheer Richards home.
Great job, these two young blokes. Obviously didn't qualify well.
Well, there you go. There are Ford fans up there. Plenty of them.
Did a great job. As I said, you hear those guys over the top of the hill there. They've been there all day. They've had a few VBs and they think this is fantastic. Jason Bright, they're obviously anxiously waiting for Steve to bring this thing home. But as I said, they didn't really qualify very well. They've worked very hard all day. Mark Larkham in the background, we just saw with also a right-hand front tyre puncher. And just need to get this thing down, Conrad. Now Steve will be hearing every little noise and every little vibration. This is not a nice time.
Well, what a career, what a great start to a terrific career for Jason Bright. 95 Australian Formula Ford champ, 97 Australian Formula Holden champ, and in 96 he was the runner-up in the US Formula Ford 2000 Championship. He has come to V8s and he has joined with Stephen Richards, 26-year-old Melbourne-based guy, now bases himself in the UK as a Nissan test driver. This is a terrific victory, not only for the youth of Australian motorsport. We're watching a changing of the guard here. Two young guys, the 25-year-old Jason Bright, 26-year-old Stephen Richards. This is their first Bathurst win, and Stephen Richards and Jason Bright win the FAI 1000 Classic. There is Jason Bright. Unbelievable. Well, that marks a very special moment. Here's the run for second. Larry Perkins will get there ahead of Bargwanna. But that marks a truly significant moment because that is the first generation win. Stephen Richards has repeated his father's efforts. Fantastic stuff. And Barry is with Jason Bright.
Jason, how about that?
Oh, that is fantastic, mate. Our guys are just so good. We had that accident 2 days ago, and guys put the car together back perfect. We had the pace all weekend. That just put us a little bit behind schedule. We certainly did it the hard way, but mate, these guys are just the best.
To Murray's corner, he will get the last lap board. Stephen Richards, he knows what this feels like. He did it last year, and he gets the last lap board. He is now on his way home. 27-year-old Melbourne-based Stephen Richards. The crowd cheer. He is on his way home. You can count it down in seconds. You can count it down in metres. And this will almost be agonising, Mark Larkham.
Oh, no, mate, I like actually Murph and Rich are the two guys I really get on well with in
No, I mean agonising for him.
Oh, no, it was agonising for me, mate. I can't tell you. Don't worry about him. Look, there's Murph there. No, look, these are good guys. They're really, if anyone can win this race, it's great to see these guys.
Greg Murphy, I can tell you when he came up into the commentary box, I've never seen him so nervous. There's Alan Heafy saying, you'll be right, mate. We're going to get it home. Paul Gover in the background, the Herald Sun. And so many people like these young guys. They've done a tremendous job. And the big one will be theirs. Across the top of the mountain, let's hear the crowd cheer. Ford had their time in the sun last year. Stephen even gives them a little wave over Skyline. We were giving you some historical statistics before to say that the last man, last driver to go back-to-back wins here at Bathurst was Jim Richards, Stephen's father. Well, Stephen has gone one better. He is the first driver to ever win here on the mountain in a Holden and a Ford. And he has done it in back-to-back years. Down Conrod Straight for the final time. It may not have been the quickest car in a straight line, but this team has displayed superior driving and superior tactical manoeuvring. We mustn't forget the unbelievable bad luck that struck Shell's Paul Radisich and Stephen Ellery whilst in the lead position. But this is it. Coming down under the Dunlop Bridge for the final time, Stephen Richards will do it back to back in the wins Commodore. Unbelievable stuff. The two Kiwis do it. Stephen Richards, Greg Murphy win the FAI 1000. Yes! Woo! There is Greg. 2 times a winner. And so too is Stephen. Fantastic.
That's great, mate. Couldn't happen to nicer, guys. Look at Murph, he's wrapped, and here comes those two HRT cars. What a good-looking finish this is, eh?
And as they slow down and finish side by side, Craig Lowndes is the 1999 Shell Championship Series winner. Second and third, and there he is. What an unbelievable record for the kid. 3 championships he has contested, and 3 championships he has won.
The last lap board will be shown this time around for Garth Tander. So he is on course to take it out in the Valvoline Cummins Commodore. He and teammate Jason Bargwanna. He would be hearing absolutely everything inside that car right now. Every noise and weird engine sound that he may even think is some sort of problem would be playing right on his mind, and all he's got to do is just keep his head together and guide it home. There's Gary Rogers standing on pit wall. Crowd will be waiting for Garth Tander. There's the gap back to Paul Radisich. It's quite sizable now, 5.1 seconds. So GT, all he has to do is guide it home. And victory in the FAI 1000 will be his. A scintillating battle for third position, which is going to go right down to the finish line. Greg Murphy just holding out Stephen Johnson as they swing it up into the Ford cutting for the final time and across the top of the mountain. Listen to the crowd across the top. Holden fans are rejoicing. and so too the fans of the Young Guns. Garth Tander and Jason Bargwanna, this is their moment, and the moment for the Gary Rogers Motorsport team into the S's for the final time. As we mentioned before, Garth will be the second youngest driver to win this race behind Craig Lowndes, who did it in 1996 out of Forest Elbow for the last time in the Valvoline Cummins Commodore. What a marvellous race it has been for these two guys. Hasn't been the best of years for Bargwanna. He took victory at the Winton round of the championship, which gave him a bit more hope. Tander has been in title contention for most of the season, except for that round of the GMC 400. He would have been perhaps a lot closer to Mark Scaife. Stephen Johnson still sits in 4th position in behind Greg Murphy, and he's finished 4th here twice before. Underneath the Dunlop Bridge for the last time for Garth Tander, his maiden victory in the FAI 1000 away. So too for Jason Bargwanna. Holden conquer the mountain once again. Jason Bargwanna and Garth Tander take out the FAI 1000, their maiden victory. Well done to the Gary Rogers Motorsport operation. Gary Rogers there looking understandably emotional. Boy, oh boy, what an amazing race this has been. Mark Scaife, who's currently in 6th position, is on course to win the Shell Championship Series. There is Paul Radicic. An amazing fight right down to the finish for Paul Radicic. He finishes 2nd, threw absolutely everything at it at the end. And Greg Murphy and Stephen Richards, last year's winners, finish on the podium as well. Here's the man of the moment. What a year it has been for him. With the exception of this race, has just about swept everything before him for one of the best years in his career. Mark Scaife from Victoria, formerly of Gosford in New South Wales, will take out the Shell Championship Series. A marvellous result for the Holden Racing team, Barry.
Look at the statistics for Tony Longhurst. The last time he won a Shell Championship Series round was Lakeside in 1992.
Last lap, mate. Keep the concentration up. Watch that slow car.
1992, driving a BMW. So Tony Longhurst has been out of the winner's circle for a long, long time, and this is a Shell Championship Series round.
They're on their way home. They are less than 6.2 kilometres from the checkered flag. The combination of Mark Scaife and Tony Longhurst. There's Tony, John Crennan, the main man at HSV and HRT, and there's smiles all round. Wow, 13 years since Tony Longhurst has stood on the top step of the podium at Bathurst. He's come so close over the last 2 or 3 or 4 years. Some silly things like throttle cables, etc., have denied him when he's put in brilliant drives in the Castrol Ford. Now he's a part of the Holden Racing team, and he and his teammate Mark Scaife are half a lap from victory. Across the top for the final time, listen to the roar.
Holden fans erupt. Mark Scaife bringing it home for the Holden Racing team. It's been a dominant performance. They've set the pace throughout the day, been in contention when it counted, and now he's going to bring it home.
Across Holden Skyline for the final time. There was talk about not enough fuel to get home. Well, Bradley Jones is still there, but some 3 seconds behind. It is as good as over. Mark Scaife, and look at the car. There's not a nick, there's not a dent, there's not a scratch on it. We said that they were playing a conservative strategy earlier. They didn't challenge any passing manoeuvres. They let people get through. They didn't want to fight. They didn't want any conflict, and they played a smart race. What a sophisticated strategy. What great driving from Scaife and Longhurst. This is one that they will remember forever. Through the chase for the final time. Mark Scaife under brakes. The sniff of the champagne is right there. Through past one of the Lansvale cars. They know that they have got it. And Mark Scaife says, we have done it. We have done it. He comes across the line. He's now won a fucking supercar. He has now. Scaife and Longhurst do it at Bathurst.
Thanks, boys. That was just unbelievably good.
And Scaife brings it around. Look at that. Look who's chasing. He's so close now. He's getting closer with every metre. They cross over. I'll tell you the times as it goes. It's now down to 3.4 seconds in between Mark Scaife and Stephen Richards. So it's well and truly dropped. This is the final lap, the final fling. Can the HRT car hold on, or will the Castrol Perkins Commodore of Stephen Richards go zooming past him and get that dream victory?
Last year he did it by just 2.278 seconds, Mark Scaife. So it's going to be another close one.
Wow. Can you believe it? 6 hours and 57 minutes of racing flat stick. And in the cockpit with the 4-time Australian Touring Car Champion. He's really been sensational this season. There's absolutely no other word for it. Started with a blitz in this V8 Supercar round. 5 straight victories. He's won 6 rounds. And listen to the roar on the top of the mountain. The Holden fans love it. They probably don't know the kind of situation up there that Mark Scaife has got underneath his feet, because he's had to fight this Holden Commodore the whole way. The last 10 laps have been an extraordinary story of just holding on to what you've got, and what he had was a 5-second lead. It's now down to 3 seconds. The officials say he's got it in the bag through Forest Elbow for the last time. No problems at all. Can he hold on? Has the car got enough? Down Conrod Straight for the very final time. You can see Richards. He'd know that he's in the mirror. There he is, Stephen Richards, with lights on. The gap is too big. And Mark Scaife is going to do it for the Holden Racing team. Jim Richards will collect his 7th crown. Mark Scaife will collect his 4th individual crown. This will be their 3rd Bathurst win together. They did it in 91 and 92 in a Nissan, and now they're going to do it in 2002. And isn't that fitting that Mark Scaife goes around Peter Brock? And Mark Scaife will go back-to-back at Bathurst. He secures another Australian Touring Car title. Stephen Richards comes across in 2nd position. What a finish.
Fantastic.
And Jason Bright puts car number 2 in 3rd position. What a victory for Scaife and Richards. And what a performance from Stephen Richards. And on this historic weekend, as we celebrate 40 years of Bathurst at Mount Panorama and this incredible race, a fitting finale. Lap traffic, and it happened to be Peter Brock as Scaife came around. And there's a very happy man in pit lane. I'll tell you his name, a 7-time winner now at Bathurst, Jim Richards. There comes a time when you have to snatch it, and it either slides by or stays in your grasp. Murphy's done it before twice. He's got 6.2 kilometres left to go to make it 3. And put Rick Kelly up into the record books as the youngest ever winner at Mount Panorama.
And closes the gap substantially in the points table. Murphy to Ambrose narrows right down.
An extraordinary weekend of pace from the Kmart Commodore. Quickest throughout the first practice sessions.
Lowndes has got pace at the end of the day, 9.5 versus 9.8 for Murphy. It's down to 6.2 seconds, but it won't be enough. And by this stage, all Murphy wants to do is get home. He doesn't want to know about lap records.
They qualified first. Murphy set that amazing, head-shaking, mountain-rattling time in the shootout at 2:06.85. And listen to the Holden fans roar across the top of the mountain, because Greg Murphy is steering the Kmart Commodore to Holden's 5th consecutive victory at the mountain, a record for any manufacturer. Through the dipper he goes. Nervous times. Around Forest Elbow, the cheers go up again, and down Conrod Straight. Greg Murphy, who started from pole position, the Kiwi, is about to make amends with the mountain. And when you've got this kind of gap, halfway down Conrod Straight, 2nd place is a long way back, 6 seconds in fact. You've got to say that this is the most fun you can have on 4 wheels in Australian touring car racing. Around the final turn, And along with Rick Kelly for 2003, Greg Murphy and the Kmart team are the champions at Bathurst. Craig Lowndes and Glenn Seaton, second position. Stephen Ellery, congratulations to car 31 and Luke Youlden make up our podium. We take our hat off to Stephen and Jim Richards in 4th and 5th.
An unwritten chapter in his new book, Last Lap for Greg Murphy. If you looked in their library at Kmart Racing, checked out the dictionary, consistency would not be there. They've had an extraordinary run this year. Rick Kelly's picked up wins. This man sitting next to me, Cameron McConville, knocked him off at Winton in an amazing finish. Greg has had a tough run. He's been up and down, but they're both still in the championship chase. They both still managed to pull out a 5th placing after Rick put the car on pole at Sandown. So they're coming good at the right end of the season, and with 3 rounds to go after this and a major haul of points, it is a year they might look back on as one of their most interesting.
Murphy's the only one with anything like some pace for the last lap. 10-4 for him, 11-2 Lowndes, 12-2 John Bowe, 12-9 Marcus Ambrose, 11-8 Jason Bargwanna. So he's just broken the rest of them at the end. He just had pace when it counted. There are a couple of lucky breaks for these guys at various times during the day, but it doesn't matter how you get it so long as you get it.
Well, Bradley Jones, thank you very much for your time, mate.
Billy, fantastic, great race, great result, and I can tell you there'll be some celebration going on in the Ismail pit tonight.
Congratulations.
Well
Greg
done,
Murphy bringing a cheer from the Holden fans across the top, and the irony of all this for Ford is that having been in such a strong position for much of this race, they are still in drought in terms of a Bathurst victory, still waiting for that win, their longest losing streak in the history of the race. I'm calling a little early perhaps because this is after all Mount Panorama, but not long to go now for Greg Murphy. Rick Kelly, the team, will be keeping their fingers crossed, rising to their feet, heading towards the apron of the main straight here, and a beautiful main straight it is in 2004 with the refurbishment of the pit facilities. And this win has been just about as clean as the new look Mount Panorama buildings. The roar going up everywhere now, the lights are flashing for Murphy.
It's a great job, isn't it? He's just done a fantastic job here.
Well done, Greg Murphy. You can hear the cheers inside and outside the car as Murphy and Kelly make it 2 in a row.
Real beauty, mate. Well done. Great drive.
Wow. Extraordinary performance from those guys. Again, and it's just a carbon copy with Craig and Glenn coming home in 2nd and John and Brad for 3rd. All high-quality, experienced, fast drivers, great teams, and congratulations to all 3 of them on the day. Hard work today. Marcus Ambrose in 4th position from Jason Bargwanna, who was pretty close at the end and survived some scares. It's almost done for another year. What a race. All the big names have managed one way or another to tear themselves apart, and they've left these guys at the top of the tree.
1 to go. Listen to the roar. Less than 6.2 kilometres to run, and Mark Scaife will be a 5 times Bathurst winner.
It's amazing, isn't it? And I looked at these stats earlier, very early this morning, about 5 o'clock, and realised that between Mark and Todd, 6 race wins in 20 races so far this year. They've won almost a third of the races, but they've still felt like they're in comeback mode, trying to get back on top because they dominated for so long in V8 supercar racing.
While Scaife has won 2 races this year, he's yet to win a round of the championship this year. It's been a long time since he's won a round, more than 12 months. And this will come as a huge relief. And it keeps him in the hunt for this championship in 2005.
And he's done an awesome job, you know. It looked like Todd struggled a little bit there in that 2nd stint. He obviously was in a bit of pain and just had a battle on his hands, but Mark, as always, gritted his teeth and drove his backside off. And this car's been there or thereabouts all day, so it's not a question of last man standing. They've been on it at the sharpest end throughout the day.
Ford last one in 1998, so this means 7 consecutive victories for Holden on the mountain. What an incredible performance.
What a way to launch this new membership drive for Team Red.
The final run down Conrod. How good would it feel?
Watch your language.
And he's being told to watch his language because he got a warning from Sandown.
Officially reprimanded for getting out on the edge of the language barrier at Sandown.
The chase for the last time. He's been criticised this year for his poor starts and his lack of wins. But guess what? He is back. What a performance from Todd Kelly and Mark Scaife. And Kelly is 26 today. What a birthday present. Scaife, sensational in the Super Cheap Auto 1000. Scaife and Kelly do it.
Great job, lad. Happy birthday, Todd.
Happy birthday, Todd. There he is. And Jason Richards, his best ever result with Jamie
That's
Wincup.
unbelievable, guys. Mate, haven't we deserved this year? You guys are awesome. This is awesome. Well done.
Well done. Well, all around, that's a deserving podium, isn't it? All 6 drivers here can take real joy in this. Outstanding outcome for Steve Ellery and Adam Macro as well. The first Ford home in 3rd. Holden, 8 victories in a row at the Mountain.
This is it. The final lap.
There's no cruise to the flag though. The two of them can't afford to relax and enjoy any of this. 1 lap to go. 6,200 metres of racetrack.
Last lap, mate. Last lap.
I know it is, he said.
Campbell's been on the phone to Craig, told him it's the last lap. Eric's been on the phone to Rick Kelly, says it's the last lap. They know what's at stake. 2 things, double-edged sword, championship and a Bathurst victory. These 2 fellas are fighting it out in the championship and they're on the absolute limit through turn 2.
The corner workers applauding them, cheering them on in what is an incredible finish to the great race.
James Courtney, incidentally, is still 3rd. Russell Ingall, Stephen Richards, Steve Ellery, Steve Owen, Paul Wheel, Alex Davison, Jason Bargwanna. That's your top 10.
If Rick Kelly can be close enough going through Forest Elbow, you can tell where he's going to make the move. He will try and get Lowndes under brakes into the chase, but he's not close enough. Massive cheer from the crowd on top of the mountain. It's Lowndes. Unless something goes astray.
Great drives from both these fellas. They have driven the wheels off both their cars. Have not put a foot wrong.
There is a young Victorian back in the Better Electrical Garage by the name of Jamie Wincup, who is about to become a first-time Bathurst winner. For Lowndes, it'll be number 2. And Kelly makes a valiant effort, but he won't have it. It won't be enough. This weekend has been all about farewelling the great man, Peter Brock, the friend and mentor to Craig Lowndes. This will be a huge outpouring of emotion. 10 years in the waiting. Lowndes and Wincup do it. That is an incredible motor race.
job, mate. Unbelievable.
And Campbell Little is in tears. You can imagine. And Wincup fist pumping on the wall. Lowndes has done it on the day he farewelled his friend.
0.5. Half a second was the margin in this motor race.
Well,
James Courtney and Glenn Seaton will stand on the podium. Glenn's been there before. For James Courtney, it's a first time.
There's some conjecture as to actually who got 3rd. Our timing and scoring says Courtney. Ingall gave it everything he had, and Ingall knows it. It's tight, and Rick Kelly, well done, Rick. Boy, did he fight hard. And Wincup gets his first Bathurst crown. He finished on the podium last year in the 2 Enduros. He finished on the podium at Sandown, and now he wins Bathurst with Craig Lowndes. Here's the replay. This is for 3rd between the teammates. Courtney closest to us. Ingle the inside run. Oh, there's nothing in it. There is absolutely nothing in it. And James did get it.
There, and there it is. He managed it by the splitter length on the Geraldine car. Well done, James.
Happy man with the Bathurst victory. It's fantastic.
Wow, look at Craig. Emotion overflow. This has been an incredible day for one of the sport's biggest names, and we'll hear from them all when we come back. This will be the final lap.
Last lap, James. Last lap, mate.
1 lap to go in the Super Jeep Auto Bathurst 1000. Can you believe what has transpired?
Nice and smooth, buddy.
Especially in the last 30 minutes. Lowndes leads us into turn 2. Courtney, second. We're looking out of James's car onto Stephen Johnson. Ford have 1, 2 and 3. Can Greg Murphy break that chain?
Ritter actually lost a spot. Owens climbed up over him, but look at this. The lights are ablaze for Greg Murphy. He's all over the back of Stephen Johnson at the top of the hill. 2/3 of a lap to run for these guys. Lowndes has kicked clear, then James Courtney, then Stephen Johnson, and Greg Murphy trying to hold up the Holden flag.
When they came here 12 months ago, Craig Lowndes had tears in his eyes. A lot of emotion in this car and around this track. They returned in 2007 with a brand new Team Vodafone Falcon. Their strategy has paid dividends. He goes a little wide at Forest Elbow.
That was a massive understeer moment for Lowndes, followed by the corresponding slide in the rear as he gathered it back up.
1.7-second lead.
They're just Mark Dutton really trying to calm things down, saying, come on, mate, here's your margin, no need to push it. A few corners to run now for Craig Lowndes. It looks like he might be able to do it again. What a finish.
Through the chase he goes. Courtney still holding on to second. Johnson still holding on to third. They won it at Sandown. And in 2007, Craig Lowndes and Jamie Whincup, they have done the double. Courtney second, Johnson third, Greg Murphy in fourth.
Unbelievable. Fantastic driving from all 4 of these men in incredibly difficult conditions.
Jamie Whincup. Jamie Whincup. Here he is, Jamie. That is unbelievable. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate. Craig brought it home nicely. It's amazing, unbelievable.
When you came in and that pit stop was crucial and you dumped it into the sand there, I know you were sitting there thinking, I've cost him. You got the safety car and your name goes back in the history books today.
Yeah, it's amazing. This one's probably a little more special because I know how big it is, you know, and we did it back to back. It's unbelievable, unbelievable.
Greg Murphy has to make up 2.8 seconds.
Yes, you're on the last lap now. 2.8 seconds. Look after those tyres, mate.
It says something.
Thank you very much. Check back in with you in about 2 minutes.
When you can outroar a V8 supercar, but that's exactly what the crowd has done here. Because this dice for the finish has been a beauty. Craig Lowndes, first position at the moment. Greg Murphy.
I think they had to put a splash of fuel in the back of Fabian Coulthard's car as well, just to get him to the flag. That's taken him out of the top 10, I think.
always some moment. It's the kind of moment that his mentor and his mate, Peter Brock, told him to enjoy. Look around, soak it in. Remember that this is a great day. The window's up on car 888, but Lowndes will know the roar because he's here, been here before, he's won it before, and he's heard it before. Jamie Whincup is in the Team Vodafone garage, about to head out and about to salute a true champion. What a team, especially at this time of year. It hasn't happened in 25 years, but these guys are the enduro experts. A three-peat for Team Vodafone, Craig Lowndes and Jamie Whincup.
You're a legend, mate. You're a legend.
Greg Murphy second in the great race.
Well done, James.
James Courtney crosses the line in third. There's a lot to celebrate for a lot of teams. Sprint Gas Racing should be extraordinarily proud of their performance.
And Lee wants to fight him for it every inch of the way. He didn't get it pulled up and turned into well. He lost ground. It'll be a slow exit. Vulnerable at the last corner. Watch Murphy goes to the outside. They'll be side by side under brakes to the last corner.
They run panels.
Crisscross. Watch for the crisscross. And it'll be on again at the end of Mountain Straight.
Tander leads us off for the final lap. Jason Richards is second. Greg Murphy is just waiting to pounce on the youngster Lee Holdsworth.
Last lap, 6 kilometres of racing to go. Tander looks like he may have bagged it. 1.6 seconds to Jason Richards. A dispute over third, and what a ripper of a race.
What is it about this mountain that brings out the very best in this man? Here he comes at turn 2. The lights are flashing. Car 51.
Desperate move under brakes. It didn't work. He lost another couple of metres. He's running out of opportunities. The next one will be up the inside of Forest Elbow and then again at the bottom of the mountain. Holdsworth will not go without a fight.
Tander's lead at the front is 1.6 seconds over Jason Richards. It's a Holden battle between the top 4. Jamie Whincup, the leading Ford in 5th.
Richards has actually closed the margin on Tander, 1.4 seconds. But it's probably too little too late. And Holdsworth has eased the gap ever so slightly. What a recovery from last year for Tander and Will Davison.
That's why this man is not only a former Bathurst champion, but a former series champion, Garth Tander. He is so cool under pressure, so fast, unbelievably professional. It's been all-out attack for Greg Murphy. We've loved every second of it. It's going to go down to the final corner for him, trying to get a podium spot for car 51 and for his teammate Mark Scaife. But this one
He's on him.
Is going to belong to Garth Tander and Will Davison.
He's on him.
Round at the chase.
And now Lee has to be defensive. It'll be on at the last corner here. Tander's going to win it. But how can you take your eyes from this?
We thought that this would be the day when Lowndes and Whincup would stand again, but history is going to have to wait because Holden has hit back at the mountain.
There you are, the Bathurst champion! Yes! Well done, boys.
Unbelievable.
That's how you win a motor race.
Garth Tander and Will Davison are the 2009 champions.
Well done, mate. You know you've got to go in through the gate. Fantastic job, mate. Complete package. Well done.
Jason Richards and Cam McConville for Team BOC, second. Lee Holdsworth and Michael Caruso, third, after an enormous battle with Greg Murphy. Oh, it's going to be a nail-biting final, 6.2 kilometres. They're going to wring this car dry to get it to the finish line. Lowndes has to hold off. his regular teammate, the man who he collected 3 Bathurst victories in a row with in the Ford days. They return here in Holden's. They're separated them.
So they're into the dregs. They're into the swirl pot and the fuel in these cars. They carries 8 litres. The reserve's on, picking up the remainder now to get him home. But it doesn't matter if you finish with a drop, so long as you finish. It is Craig Lowndes by 2 car lengths at the moment from Jamie Whincup. Garth Tander's just had to fade a little at the end. First timing intermediate coming up on the last lap, 52.9 for Lowndes, 52.7 for Whincup. Jamie's not easing up. But it sounded to me as though they said that Jamie's going to ease up too when Craig went to reserve. So this result might already be set.
The top of the mountain they go. The crowd have seen it all. They've seen Lowndes in particular master this mountain so many times in so many different ways. They've never seen him do it with Mark Skaife alongside him in the same car. Skaife won his first Bathurst back in 1991. Lowndes his first back in 96. Combined, they have 9 victories.
Make sure you save a little bit of fuel, mate. Jamie's backing up a bit.
Skaife came back into the picture at the L&H 500 after 10 years apart.
Formation's finished, mate. Jamie on the outside. Do you read?
And it's a form finish, all right. And what a finish it'll be. Mark Skaife and Craig Lowndes came here individually as Bathurst legends. This victory will make them Bathurst immortals. It's a 1-2 for Team Vodafone. Tander third. Bright in fourth. James Courtney, the leading Ford, in fifth. Craig Lowndes, Matty White, congratulations. Talk about wringing it dry with the fuel, you just got there. But Tander's not going to let him go. He's going to fight it all the way to the finish.
Turn 2. Watch for Lowndes to have a big lunge at turn 2, but Jeremy's already said choose your place wisely. They need Craig to draw on all his experience at Team Vodafone. The guy he's beating or trying to beat here at the moment and beating to death round the rear bumper, Garth Tander at the Toll Holden Racing Team. They need him to be really wise here as well and cover the best they can. Has Garth got anything by response? Is he going to go up the inside? What's going on in the braking area? Tander covers. And he is going to fight hard. This will not be easy for Craig Lowndes, trust me. He's going to have to hope that Tander makes a mistake, and Garth Tander does not make many of those.
Lowndes looks left, he looks right. Everywhere he looks, Tander shuts the door.
This is the last lap of the race. Unbelievable. They're virtually at the point of paid exchange. There's less than 5 kilometres going in this 1,000k race.
On top of the mountain, they rise as one to see these 2 extraordinary drivers continue this amazing battle. Can Tander hold on and get his 3rd Bathurst Championship? Can Lowndes round him up and lead the race for the first time when it matters on the deck?
Garth is struggling for grip with that car, but he's still got him covered. I don't know whether he's got enough. It's just amazing. It's almost impossible to read. He does everything that he can to cover. This is for the biggest prize in Australian motor racing. Tander by 2 car lengths at the moment over Lowndes. Lowndes has a look. Remember the brave move a couple of laps ago. He has a big crack under brakes.
Tander holds on. One more opportunity for Craig Lowndes to have a crack. It's been more than 30 years since a rookie claimed victory at Mount Panorama in a legendary finish. This is the year of the rookie and the pro. Tander and Nick Percat are the champions.
What a race. Well done, Greg Murphy too. And everybody at Pepsi Max, but that's extraordinary. What a pro, Garth Tander. He didn't have the car pace in the end, but he had the smarts and the experience and the poise, the concentration and the skill to get the job done. That's probably the closest finish ever. 0.29. 0.29 of a second. We started this motor race at 10:30. It's just after 5 o'clock Eastern Australian summer time. And they were 1 car length apart at the end. 2 years in a row, we've got this ridiculously tight margin between 2 cars. We've all got sweaty palms. There's 6,200 metres remaining in this car race.
And what a way to finish the current Ford versus Holden era of V8 supercars at the Mountain. This is a Commodore against a Falcon, going for the Peter Brock Trophy. Less than 6 kilometres left in this one. James Small is egging his driver on.
This is extraordinary. This is the grand prize for a V8 supercar driver, for any Australian in motorsport. Davey looks up the inside at 2. They're both completely grip limited. There's nothing left from either men here. 3/4 of a lap remaining, and now they do the Mountain for the very last time.
6 hours and 15 minutes of racing. Absolutely nothing left in the tank for Jamie Whincup. He will cough and splutter his way across the line if he has to. David Reynolds going for his first ever V8 supercar win.
They've told Jamie to go trim 2 down Conrod, use more fuel, whatever's there, just use it. So Mark Dutton's urging, James Small is urging, there's nothing in it. It's millimetres at the top of the hill. It's Whincup by a whisker at the moment from Reynolds.
And this is it, go for broke time for Reynolds.
He's got to fire it down the inside at Forest Elbow. Just fire it down there.
Come on, Davey, win it or bin it.
Gets a little bit wide yet again. Mark Dutton jumps back on the radio to telegraph another message to Jamie Whincup, who has yet again put through an extraordinary drive. Under such enormous pressure, what has Reynolds got left in the tank? Has he got enough? Is he close enough to make a move on our championship leader? For the 2nd year in a row, this goes right down to the final turn.
They're both brilliant. Oh, big slide for Whincup. He just barely hung on to it then. They've both done a remarkable job.
Only 7 drivers have won 4 or more Bathurst Championships. Today, Jamie Whincup joins the greats. He gets his 4th. Paul Dumbrell gets his 1st. And David Reynolds on the podium, a whisker away from victory in a classic 2012 race. And Craig Lowndes, of course, is always there at the end.
Unbelievable. What a stunning performance by both those young men. Dave Reynolds put the ultimate pressure on the best operator in this business. A Ford and Holden classic.
0.3 of a second. David Reynolds, well done. Jamie Whincup, well done. Both deserving champions today, and Craig Lowndes, as I said before, from nowhere to make it 1 and 3 for Team Vodafone on this podium.
Thank you so much, fellas.
Flashing lights now. Lights flashing.
Trying to distract Winterbottom. We're so close to home. Frosty still got this one. 6,213 metres of racetrack to run.
He ran it in too deep. He made a mistake. He ran it in too deep to that corner, into Hell Corner. He did not get off there well enough.
Whincup will have a look up the inside at turn 2. Frosty's going to cover it, and he does. There he goes. He moves right and further right and right again. He's on the white line. He's going to drop a spot here. They're side by side. Hold your breath, Australia. Oh! And Winterbottom hangs on.
What a battle!
Has hung on when it mattered most.
Wow.
And Frosty has had the big fight here, and he went punch for punch, and he's forced Whincup into a position where he's had the big slide the moment. He's lost momentum. Dumbrell is gutted. He's gutted.
That's the move. That's done it.
That was the race-winning edge
for Winterbottom. Fight and fight and fight till there's no fight left.
Wow. That was as brave and as wild as we've ever seen in this sport.
It was a hell of a move from Whincup to try and go up the outside there.
And if he got it done, he was on the inside for the next corner. The reason he did it is he knew if he made the move, he was on the inside for the next corner.
Applaud this, because this is fantastic motor racing from both these teams, from both these guys. They are at the peak of their powers. What a moment.
Ford Performance Racing have had their troubles this season. Mark Winterbottom has had to go toe-to-toe with Jamie Whincup, who's been the standout driver of the last few years in this game. And Frosty has been waiting so long. After more than a decade of trying, Mark Winterbottom will win the Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000 with Stephen Richards.
Oh, yeah.
Whincup and Zumbrell second, Craig Lowndes and Warren Love third. That's the moment that Mark Winterbottom has been working towards his entire racing career.
Mate, you boys are unbelievable.
They may not like each other, Matt, but there's a huge amount of respect from Matt. Two of the very best operators in the factory cars bumping at 260 kilometres an hour at the end of the straight and get away with that. Both guys, and Craig Lowndes, superb performances.
That makes Stephen Richards now a three-time Bathurst champion. Frosty joins the list of Bathurst winners.
1.4, the second gap now. Way back from 3. He has responded now.
I don't understand why it took so long. Anyway, you're getting your money's worth today, folks. Look at this. This might be the biggest moment of Chaz Mostert's career. And for Paul Morris, who's had a win here in the 12 hour, and he's done a lot of things over a long period of time. On his 22nd start, he might win this thing. It's only the second start for Mostert. These guys are going to have an unbelievable duke out in the dying moments of this race. We've got less than 6 kilometres to run. It's an unbelievable storyline. Whincup is out of fuel. He's really struggling to get this thing home. Mostert is going to throw everything he's got at it, but he's got to be a bit careful. He can't throw it in the weeds.
He was just told, use it down the hill. We've got to be able to conserve the fuel down the hill so he can go down to the chase on full speed. Look at this. This is a battle for Australia's biggest race. Whincup is conserving fuel. Mostert is totally fine.
He's in trouble. He's got to be in trouble. Can he redeem this? I very much doubt it. He's just got to find a gap now, Mostert. This is for the Bathurst 1000 victory. And Mostert tries to go around the outside at McPhillamy. There's no space there. He tries to do it at Skyline. There's no space there either. Now he's just got to hold station because it's a one-line groove down through the dipper and on the run towards the elbow. This is off the scale. Off the scale as Whincup does everything he can. He had a 3-second margin. He blocks down the inside because he can. He comes away and another whack. And Mostert goes through on the inside. This is huge in Australian motorsport. They've gone berserk at Ford Performance Racing. This kid is going to win this thing today, and so is Paul Morris.
Has not led a lap all day, Crompo. Not led a lap. Chaz Mostert is going to win with Paul Morris. Extraordinary motor race. Something you have never seen before.
We are approaching the 8th hour of the 2014 Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000. And Chaz Mostert, who's had 21 V8 Supercar events and 56 previous races, is going to make a very special name in history here. He is the winner of the Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000. Moffat second for James Moffat. And Nick Percat makes it onto the podium. I'm out of breath. It's an unbelievable outcome. Davison fourth, then Whincup, then
then Winterbottom, then the Kellys, Todd and Rick, then Coulthard, and Craig Lowndes finishes in 10th. Genuinely unbelievable, Mark Beretta.
Unbelievable, Neil.
Richards has won it 3 times. They're zeroing in on the mission. Grant McPherson.
One more lap and the pot is full.
And the pot is full. He's talking about the collector in the tank. It's got 8 litres in it, and he'll use 4.5 to 5 of them to get home. So he's telling him he's got fuel in hand to go for it. The margin is 2.7 seconds. They're still driving the wheels off these cars at the moment. We ride with Craig Lowndes up to turn 2.
Grant McPherson, who you saw there before, good day for him. Remember, he's formerly Chippy, formerly of the Pepsi Max crew, now with Craig Lowndes, now with Red Bull Racing. What a partnership that's been so far in 2015.
He made a name for himself here in 1994 with a bold move at turn 2 on John Bower with the Holden Racing team. And from that day onwards to this very day, Craig Lowndes has been a name that's echoed throughout the mountain. His 22nd Enduro campaign, 11 of those, half of them with 888 Race Engineering. They've fallen out of favour in the mid-portion of the season. They weren't able to match the Pepsi Max Fords. But today, big pace, consistency, mistake-free, perfect in the pit stops. He's relaxed and he's about to bring home yet another Bathurst victory. Craig Lowndes is a miracle man at this place. Angela Richards, Roland Dane, Stephen Richards. Lara's in the background there as well. Rusty, this is going to be a sweet victory for Red Bull Racing Australia. It's 2.2 seconds to Frosty.
The hard work began on Thursday. This experienced pairing have delivered on race day. Well done to the team at Red Bull Racing Australia. One of the legends of the sport creates a little bit of magic at the mountain and secures his 6th victory in the 1000. Stephen Richards following in his dad's footsteps.
Great job.
Victory number 4 for Richo. Awesome stuff.
Beautiful, great, beautiful. You babies, you bloody legend. Great drive.
The Darrell Lee Sticks entry of Will Davison, co-driven by Jonathan Webb, together with Shane Van Gisbergen and the Frenchman Alex Premer. If Will Davison can hang on for one more lap, for 6.2 kilometres, for 6,213 metres, he can get the job done. He'll win the great race for the 2nd time.
Wow, that was a beautiful Murray's Corner execution for Will Davison. He got it turned in. Perfect apex. Oh, it's so hard to save, my God. He's just got to get on with it. Get your head down.
Pick up as much fuel as you can.
They're trying to save fuel, and there's 2/3 of a lap remaining at Mount Panorama. They're trying to save fuel.
There's Rihanna Crean, Will's fiancée. She'd be as stressed as Will at the moment, and the way into the cutting, that's the spot that I thought he may have had a dive. He can't get that one done. So now Will's got to get across the top of the hill. There's nothing in fuel consumption across here. You've got to go as hard as you can possibly go.
Listen to the crowd at the top. Half a lap remaining. The 2016 Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000 has been another great race. Will Davison leads by a car length over the top of the mountain. Van Gisbergen is absolutely ragging it off the top of the hill. He'll try and pull the move at Forest Elbow, but the yellow flags will balk him at the bottom of the hill. He looks for the big wide turn in to turn down tight. So now there can be no passing at the bottom of the chase. Will Davison's working hard for this one. Can he do it? His grandfather won the Australian Grand Prix here back in 1958. This would be very, very special. Van Gisbergen's got 7 points in hand in the championship. They cannot pass down here because of the yellow flags. We've got one brake zone remaining. Here comes Van Gisbergen. There's no nothing in it. They've been racing for 6 hours and 19 minutes. He's got a block. Here comes Gizzy. There's nothing in it. Will Davison might get this done. He's done it. Will Davison is going to win the 2006 race. He wins it by a car length.
Unbelievable job, Will Davison. Great effort to hang on. Fantastic drive, and everyone at Techno. Jonathan Webb and all the crew. Amazing performance.
Straight into the gate on around the straight, please.
Extraordinary race.
They will aim you.
Does this place turn it on or what?
Just cue me. Webb, can you, but you weren't even watching. You were in the truck putting your suit on. That is the most phenomenal finish to this race. You have won the Bathurst 1000.
Unbelievable. We were so close in 14. Last thing I want to do is get my hopes up today. Out the back, just playing with my kid, just trying to ignore what was going on, but that's unbelievable. It's just amazing.
Get to the podium, buddy. That is such an awesome job.
Thank you.
How did they react at Cam's race control? This time round, it's 1 lap remaining for David Reynolds. Will they trigger it, or do they let him go?
Local yellows probably to get the race finished.
A tough decision. The crowd's responding. What a mega moment for David Reynolds.
Last lap, there's a car in the wall at the elbow on the outside. Stay on the racing line, renewing line.
Nathan, can you believe that? Can you believe that for Mark Winterbottom? Got on top of the greasy stuff, nowhere to go.
There you go. And that just shows how easy it is to make that mistake. And I think Cam's race control have done a very good job there on the final lap of our biggest race to just put the double yellows out there. All the radios are telling the drivers that there's a car crashed at Forest Elbow and to be nice and slow and steady in that zone.
At Sandown, he clicked over 250 supercar races. Holden fans are loving this. Listen to them up the top at McPhillamy. It's been a master's performance today from David Reynolds. He's had 3 career wins. The last one of those came back in 2015, race 29 of the championship in New Zealand. A long, long time between drinks. Yellow flag on the approach, green flag on the exit. The last corner, there's Renee, Mark's wife. What a moment for Daniel, what a moment for Betty. Down the straight for the last time for David Reynolds. He's got 3.3 seconds. He can sense it, he can taste it. Through the chase for the last time. This is one for the Holden faithful. There was a gold rush in the 1800s at Bathurst. In 2017, there's a jackpot looming for David Reynolds. It's been an exquisite performance, a brilliant team effort. Car-to-car combat, battling the weather, the risks, and another day of drama. And 1,000 kilometres later, David Reynolds, you are the man.
Sensational job by the Erebus team. Luke Gilden, faultless throughout the course of a very tough day. McLaughlin was the hero yesterday, but when it matters, this young man has put up the David and Goliath trick. This is, for Dave Reynolds, the most important win of his life. Wow.
Okay, Betty Clemenco, you are a Super Cheap Auto Bathurst winner. What can you say?
I hope my children were watching.
Congratulations, Dale Wood, also for 2 cars in the top 4. David Reynolds is a weapon, and Luke Gilden has done you guys absolutely proud.
Sorry, I can't talk. It's just too much.
What a moment. What a moment for Betty. We saw a glimpse of Tahan in the background as well. So for David's partner, a big moment. He's just making his way into the back of the pits. Raw emotion from Betty Clemenco.
213 metres to go. 44 years of age. Craig Lowndes made his Touring Car Championship debut at Eastern Creek in 1996. Stephen Richards, his partner, made his debut at the very same race meeting at Sydney Motorsport Park in 1996. They have made an amazing combination together. Between them, 49 starts at this location.
Unbelievable.
They are at the extreme end of experience at this location. Listen to them at the top of the hill. It's his 25th great race. A quarter of a century of excellence for Craig Lowndes. Off the top of the hill for the last time as a full-time supercar driver. More appearances as an active driver in the top 10 shootout than any other driver. Stephen Richards, his wife Angela, Craig's wife Lara. They've got their caravans parked out the back of the paddock. They've had a psycho week of commitments. There's been a lot going on in his life in the last 7 days, a lot going on since Townsville earlier this year when he announced his full-time retirement. Craig Lowndes is about to put another notch on his Bathurst belt. He's coming out of the chase for the last time. Age is no barrier. Craig Lowndes, with one corner to go, is about to become a 7-time winner at Mount Panorama. Congratulations, Craig Lowndes.
Yeah, boy. What a weekend, man. Well done. Not bad for an all game. Yeah.
What a story. Lowndes from Pye, McLaughlin, Stephen Richards over the fence. Stephen Richards is now a 5-time Bathurst winner. 7 victories in the great race for Craig Lowndes. It moves him up to equal with the great Jim Richards, the father of Stephen Richards, who had 35 starts here. And the proud men and women of 888 Race Engineering, the Autobahn team, have done it. We have got 1 lap to go at Mount Panorama. The 2019 Great Race is going to be decided by one bizarre lap of racing. Green, green, green as we get stuck back into it. It's McLaughlin, Van Gisbergen and Courtney. They get through the first corner. 1 down, 22 to go.
Minimise the risk, warm the tyres up at Mountain Straight, weave the car around, ensure that you've got a grip feel. Tyre temp, tyre temp, tyre temp, that's exactly right. He's being told to get those tyres up to temp. Oh, he's thrown it in there. Van Gisbergen's arrived at warp speed into there.
They're driving the wheels off them, but the cars are not ready for it. Those tyres will have lost some temp. They've lost some pressure. They'll be a handful to drive. They climb out of the cutting for the last time in second to third gear, over the top of the hill for the blind approach. And this is where we've seen trouble today. There's rubbish on the road everywhere. The fans have gone crazy at the top of the hill. What an off-the-scale car race. McLaughlin still leading with half a lap to go. McLaughlin over Van Gisbergen. Oh, he just about threw the thing away like a speedway car over the top. Van Gisbergen is barely clutching this thing.
Minimise the risk here now. This is Van Gisbergen's spot, but he's too far back. Just get it stopped. Get it stopped. Pull it up and make the apex and you're home free. Come out of here without a mistake and you're there.
He's almost done it. He's on to Conrod Straight for the last time. McLaughlin is in good shape, but now he cannot afford a mistake at the bottom, and we've seen them today. He's got the meters in hand. The Icon Quick Chopper gives us the perfect view. He thinks about where he's going to brake. What's he got left in store as he gets to the most critical corner in the country, off the back of the fastest corner in the country. What a year for Team Penske. An Indy 500 win for Simon Pagenaud. An IndyCar Championship for Newgarden. Roger Penske's here to add something very big, another milestone. 26-year-old Kiwi Scott McLaughlin wins the Supercheap Auto Bathurst 1000 of 2019.
Oh, he's in tears. He's in tears. This is a life-changing moment for this young Kiwi. It's his dad and his mum. Oh my God, have a look at the reaction, Croppo. You've got a tear in your eye. How is that?
Garth Tander might pick up another victory here. And for 888 Race Engineering, they're one of the teams that have been ultra successful here. They have earned a heap of victories, 7 of them in 06, 7, 8, 10, 12, 15 and 18. They might be about to get another one with 1 lap remaining. We've got a 9/10 of a second margin. Currently the podium is Van Gys, Waters and Mostert. Fastest again in the last sector for Van Gisbergen. What an incredible drive for him today. The last and most important lap of this race for him. And he's a picture of absolute concentration.
A 5.64 on that lap's the fastest lap of the race on lap 160. That's an emphatic statement by Van Gisbergen. Holden have won 33 times on the mountain. Is this their 34th? They've won 569 race wins in the Australian Touring Car Championship or Supercars Championship. Will this be 570?
They dare not blink. They dare not breathe at 888 Race Engineering and the Red Bull Holden Racing Team. It might be win number 40 in his career for Van Gisbergen. He's been on the podium 115 times, but if he can pull this one off, it'll be special. Runs it over the top of the hill for the last time for Shane Van Gisbergen. 3 kilometres remaining. That's all that separates him from the greatest prize in Australian motorsport. Shane Van Gisbergen has got control of this motor race. He's put together a beautiful drive today. Cam Waters in second place. What a performance. Lines it up through Forest Elbow. Remember the start of the weekend? That's where it all went sideways for him with Tim Slade early in the day. But now the last sequence of gear changes. And stop and consider this, Mark. He was the runner-up here in 2016. He missed out by 1/10 of a second. He was the runner-up here last year. He missed out by 7/10 of a second. But more telling was in 2014. He had this thing by the throat and it got away from him. He should have won on that occasion, but he's going to do it today. He makes the run down to the final corner and Shane Van Gisbergen is about to put his foot on the brake for the very last time and line it up to the checkered flag. The 31-year-old Kiwi is the master of Bathurst and Shane Van Gisbergen takes victory at Mount Panorama.
Incredible. Incredible. Garth Tander there. Jeremy Moore. Grant McPherson.
You can do plenty of skids after straight gate.
Of Red Bull Holden Racing Team and 888 Racing have just succeeded. And for Holden, in their final year with the brand being retired from Australia, have won Australia's biggest motor race. Fantastic job.
Thank you.
4 victories.
Number
4 is sweet. First one, though, for Shane Van Gisbergen. A beautiful drive today for Cam Waters. On the last lap of the race, Coulthard and McLaughlin did their fastest laps today. 5.9 for Fabian, 6 flat for McLaughlin. They came home in 4th and 5th, but there's your podium. Chaz Mostert gets on the podium again. Warren Luff gets on the podium again, and well done to Will Davison. He does it again. What an outstanding motor race and a beautiful drive today. Here we go, lining it up at Murray's. This time through, it is 1 lap remaining for Chaz Mostert. 6.2 kilometres. The race meant so much to the man that was on screen, his dad, to Tom Walkinshaw. It means so much to Ryan Walkinshaw. They've invested so heavily to get the performance group together to make sure that they could stitch this, what we're seeing now, together. A picture of concentration, Chaz Mostert. It was a brand new chassis at the commencement of 2021. Cast your mind back to the ups and downs that they've had to deal with. 2014 win for Chaz. Terrible injury in 2015. Knocked him round for the best part of 5 months. He still carries the limp. He still wears the pressure bandage to this day. Over the top of the hill for the last time. The margin's 4.4 seconds for the 29-year-old who lives on the Gold Coast, originally out of Melbourne. Have a listen.
That's the reaction. Holden fans up there, General Motors fans rejoicing
it. He got a pole here in 2019. Remember, he was on the podium here last year as well after a stirring drive for position number 3. Down the hill for the last time, the marshals acknowledge what's been a very special drive today. In particular, the comeback from the Never Never. It put them out of sequence. They lost all their flexibility with fuel, but a fast car saved the day. On to Conrod Straight for the last time with a 3.6 second margin. Cam Waters is going to make it onto the podium, P2 runner-up again for the second year running, and a very special moment for Brodie Kostecki in position number 3 for the first time in his career. But now all the focus, the accolades, the applause, the elation, it all belongs to Chaz Mostert. For the second time in his career, he lines it up out of the direction change into Murray's corner now for the final time. Second gear, lines it up. The 2021 Repco Bathurst 1000 winner is Chaz Mostert. Well done, Chaz Mostert. Lee Holdsworth, his first ever victory at Mount Panorama. And 10 years after this group last won this major race, they broke through with an emotional moment that means everything.
It does mean everything to them. You can see the elation. The reaction from that team is unbelievable.
Into Murray's corner for the second last time now. 0.8 of a second. Mostert is throwing everything at this. Look at the way it's wriggling under brakes. It is absolutely maximum game on attack there for Chaz Mostert. We've got one lap to go. The crowd is loving it. What a show. What a day. What a wild ride at Mount Panorama.
Last lap, buddy. Last lap.
Shane Van Gisbergen might do something special here this afternoon. He's 33 years of age. He made his debut in V8 supercar racing back at Oran Park in 2007. And he has been supreme for most of the recent years. His balance, his fight, his passion for the sport is unrivaled. He has done an unbelievable job today under pressure. Over the top of the hill now for the last time. He's got it back out again, Mark, to 1.3 seconds. Gee, he's strong in that first sector as he negotiates the run to the cutting. Listen to that crowd.
And how cool is it to have the crowd back with us? Holden fans rejoicing at the top of the mountain as two of their hard chargers lead the great race. Out the other side of the dipper now for the final time. There are marshals applauding, but does he pull it up well here at Forest Elbow? He's got to be ultra conservative. He's made mistakes there in the recent past. He gets through there cleanly. The margin is just 0.9 of a second. Down Conrod Straight now for the last time. Fourth gear, fifth gear and sixth gear. There was a question mark over the gearbox in this car earlier in the day. No such problem right now. Into the braking area for the last time. And the thing just looked a tiny bit unstable when he first grabbed the brake. The margin is exactly 1 second through that muddy section of the racetrack for the very final time. And what a day. He's overcome a penalty. Competitor crashes, weather, rain and mud. It's farewell Holden and hello Shane Van Gisbergen, the winner of the Repco Bathurst 1000. What a superb performance by Shane Van Gisbergen and Garth Tander for the final time for Holden. Jamie Whincup rejoicing. Garth Tander and the rest of the team absolutely so enthusiastic. The celebrations for Van Gisbergen. What a day for Holden fans.
73rd career victory for Shane Van Gisbergen. 57th for Garth Tander. That's 100 career podiums for Tander and the second Bathurst 1000 victory for Shane Van Gisbergen. Red Bull have done it again. 22.2 seconds is the margin as he heads into turn one for the final time. Sister car in the foreground. Bit of dust being brought up from somebody having run wide down there on the exit of turn number one.
And they've done a superb job again, Neil.
Richie Stanaway has contributed so much through the course of this week. He's worked very hard with Shane on the race car setup. The thing that they weren't happy with was the qualifying. Didn't quite have the raw pace of Kostecki, and they basically put the white flag up on that and concentrated totally on a race car. And that has, from today's performance, stood out as a very, very good decision. And a great decision just to make sure that car flows as nicely as it has as the crowd erupts on the top of the hill.
This is going to shake up the points a little bit in the back end of this championship as well, on the run to the Gold Coast and to Adelaide. Fans enjoying it at the top of the hill, and the shadows lengthen at the back end of the Great Race Edition for 2023. For Van Gisbergen now that margin is 21.4 seconds. He negotiates Forrest Selbo for the final time. They're loving it over the top of the hill. The passion across the fan group for Ford fans and for GM fans is extreme, and one of the best crowds that we've seen here this weekend. The Camaro howls down Conrod Straight for the final time. On the brakes. That gearbox has survived. The steering, whatever the little trouble was there, has survived. He's into the final corner. He's off to the USA in 2024, but not before he smashes home a hammer blow pre-departure. Shane Van Gisbergen is now a three-time winner of the Great Race. Richie Stanaway has never had a podium here before, and he's now a Great Race winner. And for the second time in 3 years, Brodie Kostecki and David Russell get on the podium for Erebus in a beautiful drive. And Anton De Pasquale, a well-earned third position for his first podium at Bathurst for the Shell V-Power Racing Team, and the second podium for Tony D'Alberto.
Brodie Kostecki did a 7.88 on the last lap. Just completely out of control.
And his best lap in the race was a 7.6. There's only 2/10 away. There goes the tyres off the back of Shane's car. 1 lap to go. We've got less than 6,200 metres of racetrack to negotiate. What a special moment. And he won't be able to relax until he gets a little bit closer to the checkered flag, Brodie Kostecki. Todd Hazelwood cannot blink or breathe. Daniel and Betty are beside themselves with stress. Barry Ryan is watching down by the side of the racetrack here as well. He's got the glasses on to probably cover up a little bit of emotion. 1.3 seconds is the margin, and they've still got some traffic to negotiate. Turn 4 done, 19 turns to go. Brock Feeney has done an outstanding job today, together with Jamie Whincup, Will Brown and Scott Pye. Cam Waters has done a great job with James Moffat. Chaz Mostert and Lee Holdsworth, our top 5, have driven supremely. With half a lap to go, though, it looks as though we are going to confirm a victory here for Brodie Kostecki.
And he won't want this, because Courtney and Fullwood are pressing on. So Fullwood just went down the escape road and got out of the way. James Courtney is now the man to get out of the way.
They're getting blue flags, so they'll be aware of it. That margin still sitting at 1.4 seconds. Both drivers have to negotiate some space around this traffic. Down Conrod Straight for the last time. What a moment for Brodie Kostecki. The politics, the drama, the trauma of the commencement of the 24 championship season for him, well and truly behind him. Into the chase with that big brake pedal application for the final time. Down towards the final corner. 1.3 seconds the gap. And Brodie Kostecki has shaken off the awkward start to the season to earn the biggest win of his career. Brodie Kostecki is the king of the mountain. What an incredible drive.
for the whole day. One of the greatest pole positions we've ever seen, and a life-changing win